The Harder They Fall. This movie came out in 2021. Now, I was actually stoked to watch the movie. I was excited. Like, let's go. You know, cowboys and like this whole black cast. Amazing. Let's go. Finally watched it in 2022 and it didn't hit as hard for me. Now, there was some movie breakdowns. I'm going to talk about it. What's up, world? Welcome to the episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And before I get started, as a review you want me to do, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to it as best I can. Also on Patreon, patreon.com/AliZakka for $2 a month. Get the cut in front of everybody, get your review out way before it goes on Facebook and YouTube. Also get trade reactions, trade reviews, and much more content. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's episode of 2021's The Harder They Fall. And this is going to be a spoiler, guys. There's a lot of spoilers in this movie. So if you haven't seen The Harder They Fall, it's on Netflix, you can go watch it and then come back to the review. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So what this movie is about? Well, this movie is about an outlaw by the name of Nat Love who is trying to seek revenge on a guy by the name of Rufus Buck who pretty much attacked Nat Love's family when he was younger. Rufus Buck finally gets out of prison and now Nat Love's going after Rufus Buck to settle a score. That is pretty much the gist of Harder They Fall. And yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Like, I enjoy the cast. The acting in this movie is awesome. The action sequences is cool to watch. It's a pretty cool action piece. The story is not a bad story. It's very intriguing and interesting at certain parts, and there's things I liked about it. The only thing that I didn't like is kind of the delivery of a few things and also like the pacing of the movie. So Rufus Buck, who's played by Idris Elba, he gets released from prison, but I feel like that was about 40 minutes into the movie. I felt like he got released, and then that's when Nat Love and his gang finds out that Rufus Buck's alive, and they try and go infiltrate Rufus's city that he took over, and his girl gets captured. And Nat Love is like, well, I guess he's an outlaw who didn't steal from people. He only stole from other outlaws. That was his gang about. Well, they decided to steal from people in order to get this money that Rufus Buck was looking forward to having in exchange for his girlfriend. And then they didn't exchange the money. They blow the money up and it's got this huge action fight sequence towards, like, you know, at the end of the movie to the end. But the pacing for a certain scene to get there, like the first part of this movie, I really was like, watching it, I had to stop and come back to this movie. I had to put the movie on pause and come back and finish it. Like, I guess my anticipation of this movie was more excited than what the movie was. And every time I kept watching the movie, I just felt like Django Unchained did it better. Like, as far as like the action sequences, the cuss words in the movie, and the things that said, not the N word, because Django Unchained is ridiculous with the N word, but the talking and the way the people spoke and the things that was going on. I just feel like Django Unchained did it better. Like, there's a whole fight sequence at the beginning of the movie where one guy was like, I'm the fastest draw in the West kind of thing. And all I could think about was Django Unchained. Some of the fighting scenes in this movie where the camera zooms in on certain people's faces and then like shots, like Quentin Tarantino kind of Western vibe stuff was done in this movie. And I felt like this movie, The Harder They Fall, didn't bring anything new to the table. But it's a good movie. It's not every movie you need to watch need to be like world changing and oh my gosh, but for a movie I guess I was more anticipated for, I was so excited for, I was like wondering there's gonna be something new and kind of like ride home about. I just felt like the pacing with it didn't do it for me, and the fact that I seen this stuff in like Django Unchained, that I was just like, I'm fine. Like, we had the slow motion shot pace of people shooting in slow motion, falling, and people were doing a bunch of things like things we've seen in other movies. In this movie, it was like, okay, I've seen it before. I know where it's going. I know how it plays out. And this movie didn't bring anything new to the table. But as far as like a solid action movie to watch with a bunch of people, I think it'll be fine. I think you know, won't be disappointed. I think you'll be okay with this movie. I literally think majority of people watching the movie will find this movie very pleasurable and amazing to watch. Pleasurable is not the word. I guess pleasing. Just, you'll enjoy this movie. You will enjoy this movie. Just, for me, it didn't do it for me. And I just felt, I don't know, I kind of feel like kind of sad about that. Like, I don't know, maybe I put too much hype in this movie. And maybe because of the cast. Maybe because of the cast in this movie, I was like, this movie's about to be game changing, and it wasn't. It was just like, it's fine. I kind of don't want to finish this movie right now. I'll come back and finish later. You ever watching the movie and get like, I'll come back and finish later. I don't know if you ever think of high regards after that. Like when you come back and pick it up, like, okay. The ending did capture me though, I would say that. And the plot twist at the end of the movie where Rufus Buck and Nat Love as brothers didn't work for me. And I felt like the writer wanted to do his own thing into it. Like he was like, I want to have them be brothers. And it makes sense why Rufus killed his father versus Rufus just being a bad person, which he is an outlaw. He almost killed somebody else and does what he really wants to do. So him doing that to Nat Love's father wouldn't even be, you know, bad as I did. But apparently Nat Love and Rufus, their dads are the same parent. They both have the same dad, different moms. And Rufus finally hunted down his dad, who left and changed his life, got a new life, and killed him and his mom, and then marked Nat with like a cross on his forehead. So Nat was like, well, I'm gonna get my revenge. I'm waiting my whole life to find out who Rufus is. But Rufus got captured by the police and was getting exported in a train, and his gang busts him out. And then once Nat found out that Rufus got free, he was like, my revenge tour is back on. So what if Rufus' gang never got to him? Then this movie just end because there's no reason. But yeah, it's fine. It's a fine movie. I'm perfectly fine with this movie. Like, the pacing for me is kind of off, and the story is not really anything new. But you know what? For the ideals and everything that was thrown into this movie and the cast, it was something that I feel like it's solid, a good and solid movie. That I just think, you know, it's fine. It's probably not what I'm gonna watch over again, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the cast and crew and writers and directors. So first thing, this movie is 2 hours and 19 minutes long. The writer of this movie and director is James Samuel. I'm not sure if this is his first piece that he wrote, but he's the writer and he's the director of this movie. As far as the cast, we have Jonathan Majors, who played Nat Love, which this is the first movie besides Loki. Loki's not a movie, it's a TV show. First movie I've seen where Jonathan Majors in it, and I think he does great. I think the acting in this movie is great. So everybody pretty much when it comes to the acting, I'm like, oh, they're great. You have Zazie Beetz, who plays Mary Fields. I think she does a good job as Mary Fields. I really don't feel like the cast is bad. R.J. Cyler, who played Jim Beckwood, did fine. Yeah. Edie Gathegi played Bill Pickett. Shout out to him. He's actually the guy from First Class, who, make sure I got that right, 'cause I'm pretty sure it's the same guy from First Class who's like, he can turn, yeah, he's Darwin from First Class, who can turn anything into, turn his body into anything, and I'm still dying. It's kind of messed up. But he did good. Damon Wayans Jr., who plays Monroe Grimes in the movie, fine. Lakeith Stanfield is actually one of my standouts. Lakeith Stanfield, who played Cherokee Bill, I actually love Lakeith Stanfield. And I feel like Lakeith Stanfield is playing the same character he does in most of his movie. A chill, laid back, cool, calm, collective kind of guy who speaks a certain way. And I actually liked him as a villain more than Idris Elba's Rufus Buck. Idris Elba, Rufus Buck, who plays Rufus Buck, I thought he did fine. Like, Idris Elba as a villain to me doesn't work for me in movies, so it's hard for me to kind of get past that, but like, it just seemed like Idris Elba. It really did. That's what it just seemed like. Idris Elba, who was just like an edgier version of him. Regina King, who played Trudy Smith, love Regina King. I thought she was fine. I thought she was great in this movie as well. Like, her talking pieces and bits and everything. Like, thought she did great. Danielle Deadwyler, who played Kofi, she was good as well. Those are the ones that I'm going to mention. There's a bunch of other casts and people in this movie, but those are the ones I really want to point out, because those are the ones that stood out to me in this movie. I thought they did great. Any other thoughts? The music is good in this movie. I like the music. Music's solid. The set pieces and backdrops and action sequences in this movie is great. I think if you're an action movie fan, you're gonna love this stuff in this movie. The overreaction with the blood shooting and the explosions and the far shots and everything. I think you're gonna love this movie when it comes to action. Like this movie got some solid action pieces in it. That's about it. Music and as far as action sequence and setups and props, I thought was solid in this movie. The clothes designs, it felt like a Western movie, in which the movie is a Western. Yeah, is this a Friday night movie? Sure, I think you can get a bunch of people together and watch a Friday night action movie with this movie. I think everybody will be fine with this movie. And grading time, I'm going to grade The Harder They Fall from 2021 a solid C. This movie gets a C from me, a 75%. I just felt like, the pacing a little bit off and story nothing really new. So it's like, it's just really the same thing we've probably seen in other movies and other shows. It just, that's it. But other than that, the acting is great. The props and set pieces are great. The music adds to the movie is great. Like, everything else, and this is James Samuel's first movie. I think it's a solid movie to do. Like, I just think this movie is okay. Good, solid movie. Like it's not the worst out there, not the best out there. It's a very C movie, 75%, and that's why I'm sitting with this movie. Before I close it out, let's go ahead and check out IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. So IMDb gives it a 6.5 out of 10, which that is a D for me when it comes to grading. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 88%, which is a B+. I think the audience score gives it 93%, which is an A-. So the audience love this movie, and Metacritic gives it a 68%. So yeah, mine's is a C, a solid 75% C. So if you guys seen The Harder They Fall, what do you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.